That brings us to Verlander. 6.75 ERA, has not gotten through the fifth inning in any of his starts. He's 42 years old. He's an amazing name. He's going to the Hall of Fame. He's married to a supermodel. His life is excellent. Nothing he does in San Francisco is going to tarnish his Hall of Fame resume, but everybody, Father Time, undefeated. Don't care if we're talking about Steph Curry, LeBron James, Tom Brady, whoever the case may be. Athletes are having themselves in better shape and elongating their career more than ever and being effective into later dates than they ever have been. So when we talk about the technology that we have and this device that you have on is telling you that you're tired. No, I'm not tired. You are tired. You need a rest. Like that's just what's happening. So it's making players effective longer, and it works. And Justin Verlander is one of those freaks. He's a Nolan Ryan. He's got the rubber on. Like he could snap out of this. But my major question becomes, and it's too early to do this, but how long do you give Justin Verlander? Because one of the strengths of this team clearly so far has been they've hit the ball. They've hit, especially on the road. They hadn't committed an error on defense. The bullpen had been virtually spotless. They'd gotten enough from their starting rotation. I wouldn't say that it's a hammer starting rotation. I think it does have the potential to be very, 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 very good, but it's not there quite yet. They're still tinkering with some things. But as we look at the rotation right now, and if we just said, okay, if you just had to put them in order right now, 1 through 5 of who's the best and who's to the worst pitcher, very simple. Logan Webb is always going to be number 1. Robbie Ray has been the number 2 starter to this particular point. I would probably put Landon Roop as the 3rd best pitcher. I would put Hicks as the 4th because last time he had a big hiccup, and clearly Verlander's the 5th. Now, if Roop was having these problems and pitched like Verlander and had a 6.75 ERA at this point, Landon Roop does not have the resume clearly of Justin Verlander, and Landon Roop would be out of the rotation and Hayden Birdsong would be in. That would have already happened. But Bob Melvin, they gave him $15 million, which is not a ton, but it does buy you some equity. And so now you look at Justin Verlander and you say, we're going to give him time. But how much time do you give him? Even if he's Justin Verlander, and even if he's earned extra time, and even if he's a Hall of Famer, he hasn't done it here. And you have baseball games to win, and you can't screw around. This isn't Little League. Oh, Justin Verlander has had 4 starts. What does he get? 6, 7, 8, 10? I mean, basically in a year, you get 30 to 33 starts. He's not close to any kind of numbers like that. Do you give him a 3rd? Do you give him 10 starts? Do you give him 8 starts? I mean, a lot of it depends, too, on exactly what he looks like. And there are all these different kind of metrics that tell you how a pitcher is pitching, and maybe there's some bad luck, whatever the case may be. But given, and we talk about this all the time, I hate the term small sample size. It just means that's what we have to go on. So to me, what we have to go on so far is Justin Verlander hasn't been very good. And as I point out on the chalkboard there, near the bottom, Verlander issue. How long do the Giants give Justin Verlander? Longer than Landon Roop, longer than Jordan Hicks, but they can't do it forever. And you have a guy in Hayden Birdsong, and I haven't checked the minors lately. It's not what I do, but there's a bunch of guys down there, including Kyle Harrison. So they've got to make a decision at some point, because if they aren't competitive in baseball games with Justin Verlander, then they owe it to the team. And that's the other side of it too, is there's a fine balance and fine line between the team, and the players know it before us. The players know the game a lot better than we do. And so they start looking at it going, wait a minute, there's competition all over the diamond. If I don't play well, I get replaced. And I understand that Justin Verlander is a Hall of Famer, but at some point in the clubhouse, the murmurs start. Like, this guy's going to the mound again? That means we have to be perfect. That means the pen has to be perfect. It means the offense has to score 6 or 8 runs. It puts pressure on everybody, and everybody knows, like, this guy's not giving us a chance to win. And I don't care what his name is. After a while, it becomes, there's a better guy right there, and his name's Hayden Birdsong. He's better. Or there's a guy in the minors, one of the Carsons, one of the 900 Carsons they have in the minors. Maybe they're better. At least what you've got to do is you've got to go to Justin Verlander at some point if this continues and say, look, we're going to handle this as delicately as we can. But you've got to strain, my friend. Wink, wink. You got to strain. And then you go work on some stuff. You know, he goes off to the side. He works on some things, whatever the case may be. Maybe it's a mechanical issue. I don't think it's a mental issue, because Justin Verlander is an extremely confident guy. I've talked to him after 2 starts so far. I've talked to him after both walk-offs, actually. They won those games. The Willie Adames walk-off, he started, didn't pitch well there. And then the Mike Yastrzemski walk-off home run, he pitched that game as well. So they've gotten lucky in his starts to have a couple of walk-offs. Last night clearly wasn't the case, as they lose 6-4, but the offense is having to carry the pitching staff. And we know, as far as the Giants are concerned, especially when they play at Oracle Park, that's not going to be a recipe for a lot of success. that your offense bails out pitching. That happens on occasion, but not very often. So the offense has had to bail Justin Verlander out on a couple of his starts. He doesn't have a win on the season. I'm not panicking on Justin Verlander. All I'm saying is there's a Verlander issue that bears watching right now, because they're going to have to handle this in a very delicate situation. And when they do, and if he continues to pitch this way, they're going to have to go to him and just say, look, Justin, we're going to put you on the injured list. You're going to have a strain, and we're going to work on some things on the side, and then we're going to get you back in the rotation. And if it doesn't work at that point, then, it's not like you're putting Justin Verlander in the bullpen. Like Justin Verlander is ever going to pitch out of the bullpen. But just because he's a Hall of Famer, and just because his name is Justin Verlander, and just because of who he is, that doesn't mean that you're going to just go out there and pitch and pitch and pitch and pitch, and nothing is guaranteed. It's not Little League. Everybody's got to play 2 innings. It's not that way. So he's got to start showing something, or the Giants have to start saying, okay, because they're a team. Like, this is a good baseball team. They're 12-5. They defend. They pitch out of the bullpen well. They do a lot of really good things.